For this problem, we're going to be using this one right here, dog walking service. So they charge $5 an hour for each dog walked. They can walk several hours. Many clients have more than one dog. All the dogs are walked at the same time, and they said first thing we need to do is, in order to fill out these blocks right here, is to figure out what they want out. And they said they want to be able to find out after walking the client's dog how much they need to charge the owner. So we'll go down here and I'll just simply call that total. And then I have to decide where am I going to get the total from? And again, we can either get it from calculations or input. And of course, if we're inputting the total, it'd be kind of ridiculous. It wouldn't be much of a program here. We just input a number and output it. So we have to calculate that. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to paste it in. All right, so now I have to figure out what calculation I need in order to be able to determine what the total is. Now, one thing you might want to do is, prior to doing the calculation, you might want to do what I call harvesting the low-hanging fruit. Of course, low-hanging fruit is the easiest to pick. And if you look back up into our paragraph here, we can see that we have a constant, and that's $5 an hour. So since that's a constant, that's going to go into our assumptions, because it's going to be a number that doesn't change every time we run the program. So I'm going to call this the walking fee. And one thing you can do is, you can see I'm kind of making kind of a screwy thing there. I'm going to camel this. So I'm going to keep everything low, but the first letter of each word after the first word is going to be a capital. And that's going to save me some time later on. All right, and that is going to be equal to 5. We don't put the dollar sign because that's text. So we don't want to put text with a number. We just want the number itself. We could put .00 if you wish, but it doesn't impact the math. So the walking fee is 5, and now I can go ahead and say, well, in order for us to figure out the total, first we have to know what is the number of dogs, and we have to know the number of hours. Wait a minute, what am I doing? All right, so all right, so what we have to do is we have to multiply those two together. Lost my focus there, sorry about that. And we also have to multiply that then by the constant, which is the $5. So I'm going to go ahead and copy walking fee, because we always copy and paste it down here. Again, these two have to be identical, so if you don't copy and paste, you could just be putting errors into your code. Let's get this equal sign out of here. That was incorrect. All right, so now I have to determine, so this is done. Now I have to determine where am I going to get number of dogs and where am I going to get number of hours. So I'm going to have to ask somebody, well, how many dogs and how many hours? So since I have to ask and they have to answer that question, that's input. So I'm going to go ahead and copy number of dogs into my input section, and then copy number of hours. Whoops, come on. Copy and paste. All right, so now that we have figured out our output, determined from that output what math needs to be done in order to get that output, harvested our low-hanging fruit, and then determined that these two places of memory here, or these two pieces of information, have to be provided to us by a user, so that has to be input. So that's it. That's a problem statement, easy as pie. So the next thing we have to do is a human algorithm. I'm going to do it in the same file, so I don't have to open up another file here. And if you want to do that for your assignments, that's okay also. I have them as two separate files, but if you want to do it as one file, that's fine. All right, so I'm just going to copy. Oh, wait a second, we haven't finished our assumptions. All right, so the assumptions can be gotten off from here also. So we'll say that all dogs have the same fee. All dogs of a client are walked the same hours. And then this application also can only do one client at a time. So what we're looking there is scope. I'm going to ask the user, so all dogs have the same fee, and he's going to say, yeah, $5. Oh, wait a second, except for St. Bernards, they're $10 because they're much larger. I'm going to say, okay, well then this is not going to work. I'm going to redo my thing and have a large dog walking fee for $10. So that's why I want to ask these, and I just want you to get into the habit. I'm looking for 3 assumptions for every problem that you do. You can probably come up with 50 of them. No cats, no chipmunks, so you can see where this can get ridiculous. I'm only looking for 3 to see that you're paying attention and that we're just being sure that the scope is going to be correct. All right, very easy for me to do. All I have to do is copy, starting with the final, and that's why we put the our constants at the bottom. I copy this, I paste it into my human algorithm. All right, I'll move up. In fact, I'll move everything up so we don't see our problem statement anymore because we don't need it anymore. So this is our human algorithm. Our first step is the walking fee. The second step is going to be that I need to get this input and the input of number of dogs. Then I have another input, so I'll go ahead and copy and paste this here. And then I have calculations, but I don't put that in there. So I get rid of that. And then I do this math. And then I have only one output, and that is the total. So not a very big program, but that's okay. When we're first starting out, we're going to do simple so we can see how this works. All right, so we say that, well, $5 is the fee. I'm going to ask for this, do this math, and then it's going to come out and I'm going to be able to tell them what the total is. So let's go ahead now and move to the flowchart. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and the first thing has an equal sign. So that's going to be an assignment. All right. And wait a second, before I can do this though, I have to get rid of all my spaces. So before I start there, I need to come back over here and get rid of all the spaces in here. And hours, and whoop, this is not cameled. So let's go ahead and put the O there and then fix it down here too. So it's all consistent. Okay, and then number of dogs and number of hours. In fact, before we get started, I think I'm going to end this here. And then in the next video, we will flowchart it and code it because this is already getting to be 8 minutes. All right, so that's it. We simply took this paragraph, broke it down into these areas, starting with total and working our way back up to the top. Once we finish that, we simply copied that, pasted it down here, and let's go ahead and fix this problem too. Remember, we fixed this. When you fix things, you need to go back and make sure that each of the steps are identical. All right, so now they're all identical. Then we copied that, pasted it down here, put input in front of the inputs, output in front of the outputs, and then calculations just stood on their own. And the next thing we'll do is code this, flowchart it, and then code it.